Hi, my name is Jennifer Corey, and I am a psychotherapist in private practice in Red Bank, New Jersey. And I am also the founder and CEO of an organization called Heart Initiative. We specialize in working with people with chronic conditions, chronic and degenerative diseases, or chronic stressors and their caregivers, helping to move people, to shift them from despair or fear into skills and tools that allow them to live with more resilience, more hope, and a greater sense of thriving in their lives, building a baseline of well-being. We've been doing this for the past couple of years, and I can't think of a time where people could use that support more than possibly now. If you are living anywhere in the world at the moment, then you know that we're in the midst of a pandemic called the coronavirus or COVID-19. And this is, of course, challenging, nerve-wracking to everybody who's living in the world. But there's an added anxiety for people who are living with some kind of an underlying health condition. And I am among that group of people. I have a cardiac disorder. Um, it runs in my family. There are a number of people in my family who have it. And there are some special considerations and things to be concerned about when we're dealing with any kind of an illness. There are people within my community who are heart transplant patients or who are in various phases of heart failure, who I know are deeply concerned about um, living with the threat of COVID, and especially the threat maybe that they could do all of the right things and might still find themselves exposed to it in some way, shape, or form, just because it's so pervasive. So one of the things that I wanted to do, I certainly know lots of people, not only who have this chronic cardiac kinds of conditions, but other kinds of organ transplants, people who are dealing with cancer, with diabetes, with autoimmune disorders. There are a lot of people in the world who have just this added stressor that they're dealing with. And one of the things that I wanted to do was to take the considerable resources that we already have, the skills and tools that we've been building over the last couple of years, all evidence-based skills and tools for helping people build a greater baseline of well-being, build greater reserves of resilience, and really offer these skills to people who are navigating this virus and who also happen to be living with a chronic condition of any sort or a chronic stressor of any sort. Um, and so I want to do that by offering what we are teaching at the Heart Initiative, free and just as a service to everybody who is dealing with this right now. And also, we have the most amazing group of teachers and thought leaders, authors, and experts in areas that range from strengths, resilience, positive psychology, hope theory, transcendence, mindfulness and meditation. The list really goes on and on. And I am going to be conducting some short interviews with each of them about really what their best practices in their areas of expertise are, what their best recommendations are at this point in time for how to be able to utilize some of these areas of research and practice in really practical ways to help all of us navigate this challenging time. So we'll be posting those short videos online. We're also going to be we'll be posting them on Facebook and on our website, www.heartinitiative.net. We'll have them on our YouTube page as well. And we're also going to make those links available. I can't remember, there was one other way that we were going to do that. We have an extensive email list, so we were going to email those links out as well. And in addition to that, every couple of days, we're just going to host these live Q&A sessions. And a lot of that really is to help people come together. Now, there's nothing that we face in this world that we are not better when we face together, when we support each other, when we share with each other what our best practices are. So I'm interested not only in hearing the experts, but hearing from you as well. What are some of the things that you're doing that are really helping you? What are some of the things that you're particularly concerned about? and for us to be able to really pool our personal resources as well and offer support to each other. It won't be longer than maybe a 30-minute session because people have a lot that they're distracted by at the moment, and a lot that is drawing your attention. But I want to call this like a little bit of an immunization, like a shot of really good and solid and evidence-based skills and tools and support that we can provide to each other. I think it's the least that we can do, and in whatever ways that we can access it at this point in time, it will only be helpful. So wherever you're finding this video, you will also in the next couple of days start seeing other recordings showing up and invitations to joining us for some of these Q&A, or let's just say these little discussion sessions, these breakouts that'll happen for about 30 minutes a couple of times a week. In the meantime, if there's something that you need, if you want to reach out, if you have a particular question, if there's a topic that you'd like us to address specifically, if there's somebody that you'd love to see us interview, we're compiling a list now of people, and it's pretty extensive, but we're really open to hearing if there are other people that you'd like us to connect with. Please don't hesitate to send us an email at info@heartinitiative.net, info at heartinitiative, heartinitiative.net. And we would be happy to do what we can to meet those requests and to bring those individuals on for interviews. I think one of the things that I want to offer just for now and in closing this piece out is I know that there's a lot vying for our attentions right now. And a lot of the news that we're hearing is pretty scary. There's a lot of uncertainty. There's a lot of feeling of threat to safety. The truth is there's a lot that we don't know. And I'm certainly not saying that the media is blowing things out of proportion. I think they're doing the best job that they can. But I think it's up to us to decide how much of that we should be exposing ourselves to over and over and over again. And to sort of create our own limits around how much of that information that we are going to take in. The truth of the matter is that you probably have enough right now to be able to navigate at least the next few days or weeks ahead in terms of safety, in terms of social distancing and the recommendations that are being made, hopefully in terms of what to do if you're not feeling well, which the recommendations as of now, the 17th of March, are that you stay at home, and unless you're in significant respiratory distress, that you really treat it as you would any other kind of flu, because you also do not want to expose yourself in an emergency room or expose other people if it's not an absolute necessity, that you err on the side of calling your physician's office and asking for some additional guidance. In other words, there are many, I think that we probably have a lot of the baseline information that we need. And so see if you can't limit for yourself. We could do some news distancing as well, and see if you can limit for yourself, maybe checking in the morning for 10 or 15 minutes and checking in at night, but then giving yourself a bit of a news break. You know, it's not going to be your instinct to do that, because the fear-based part of our brain, you know, that sort of survival mechanism, just wants to keep, you know, seeking more information, more news, looking for more ways of finding some sense of security. But we can also really overwhelm ourselves, and our minds can tend to go to these very catastrophic places when we do that. So one of the things that you can do immediately as an act of self-care is to create a little bit of a moratorium for yourself and put some boundaries around how much news you're going to consume, what are the most reliable and the least, what's the word that I'm trying to use, catastrophizing forms of news. Where are the places that you can go where it's being offered, but in very factual ways and without a lot of drama, unnecessary drama. So that's really the first thing. The second thing is to really focus on what can you do in the here and now. So not to let your mind go too far out. One of the things that we really want in times like this is to develop some sense of control, because what makes us feel really frightened is when we feel like we have no control over our circumstances whatsoever. And one of the ways that we can reestablish that sense of control is to come back to the here and now. Well, right now in this moment, do I have what I need? Am I okay? Can I navigate this particular moment? Maybe even go out as far as the rest of the day, or maybe even to the following day, but not too much beyond that. Because as we start to do that, we get into that place of uncertainty, and that's where the mind really starts grappling and can begin to create stories out of things that, may happen, but will more than likely not happen. And but we can lose a lot of energy and a lot of hope in going out and trying to imagine scenarios and imagine things, especially the worst case scenario things, and how we would navigate those. So those two suggestions, trying to bring yourself back to the here and now, back to the day that you're in, or within a 24 or 48-hour period, and to really limit the amount of news that you take in, could be two steps that you could take immediately, right here, right now, today, or make a commitment to yourself for the next couple of days that could significantly begin to reduce some of the anxiety, because it reduces sort of exposure to high levels of fear and drama, and to a sense of feeling out of control. So I hope that's helpful in some way. And look for the videos that are coming tomorrow and later this week. And know that our goal and intention is to bring you not only really reliable information and practices, practical practices and skills, things that you can do to really help navigate this time, but to also offer support and a sense of solidarity.